such creative use of those bombs and the pop gun in order to just frustrate everyone.
Absolutely.
But on the flip side, though, I mean, like you said, Y has been on a tear, and just the consistency of their punish game today is really what it feels like it's been carrying them through so far.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. We see Zeebee opt for the Kragg right away in the training screen.
I mean, they'd definitely be the one to know which matchup would be better than I would. And opting to change up.
Damn it, Zeebee. You went all the way through the lineup to get to Ranno and then skip past Ranno and got Claren.
Yeah, I mean, seeing people change up the practice dummy in practice is not something you see too often.
Well, so I was actually talking with Penguin and SBS about this earlier. I didn't know the sequence on it, but it's actually based off their file list. So as they were created, that's why when you see it first off, it's always Zetter, and then from Zetter to Orcane, from Orcane to Raster, from Raster to Kragg, and then it goes through the other characters and through the DLC list as they were added into the game. So a neat little Easter egg.
Yeah, also a nice little history book when you think about it, a way to keep track of who's been added when. Man, I mean, I am really curious to see how this plays out because Ranno just has so many attacks that are so good at dealing with rock that it's really going to force Zeebee to potentially think about other options, whether it be using the rock just for the shards or just trying to rely on the pillars to catch Y's landings here.
So I really want to talk about the offstage game too, and shout out to Backpack because Backpack has walked me through this a couple times now with this specific matchup. You have the fact that, of course, double needles confirm into aerial offstage. Super good in this matchup. However, more importantly, Ranno can actually run off stage while the Kragg is positioned right next to it, and you have what he jokingly refers to as, I believe it was Fair 2. Even though Fair's only a one-hit move, you sour hit from Fair, and it's actually going to push them out in front of you and allow you to continue an offstage stretch. So Zeebee not as safe as he normally would be with that pillar, so we'll see how often Zawai can take advantage of this.
That is true. So it's definitely going to be on Zeebee to make sure that they stay on stage as much as possible because, like you said, Ranno has so many good tools to be able to punish Kragg on that pillar, especially when you go down this low.
And even after losing that exchange off stage, still in such a strong position because Ranno can so quickly recover back to the stage.
Yeah, and that is just such a frustrating thing to have to deal with because that speed is not something that Kragg has on their side. So you have to be careful with where you're spacing and where you're moving.
Zeebee smartly just opting below the stage. But this is where things get tough because when Ranno has that stack on deck, it's super easy to confirm into the upstrong too. And not even going to need to there, just the back air, waiting for that spin cancel.
Yeah, I mean, just using those needles to just force Zeebee where they want, but that up strong going to be able to catch the up special on the way down and even things right back up. And Zeebee wisely going to jump off stage here to avoid the tongue.
Like, very patient with this approach here. Going to get a good string going, man. Already 65%. Big parry here. Yep, awesome move.
Double poison stack. Going to give Y a little bit more options to be able to position themselves to try and put Zeebee where they want. But Zeebee going to be able to fight their way out of that bubble and start racking up this percent real quick right now.
Well, and the big thing about that poison stack... Ooh.
I love it when Kraggs do that, where they stand right at the edge just so that rock gets pushed just enough where it's off stage. Just that micro spacing is phenomenal. Oh, here we go. Like I said, that Fair on the pillar going to just push them out to where you need them to. And
the blast! Oh my god! Y more than ready to cover the escape options from Zeebee, closing off and removing any chance of surviving that stock.
Yeah, it's like even if you get the text on the side there, Ranno's just able to follow up immediately with another attack just to keep you in that disadvantaged state down there.
Ooh, that's going to be a big punish.
Yep, just barely out of range for that tongue, and now going to be able to get them off stage here. See what Zeebee opts for in terms of the punish. Not going to get the parry timing on the up special, though. Oh, and now puts themselves in a bad spot, but fortunately able to up air their way out of that.
That was almost such a clutch move there from Y.
God, that took my breath away for a moment, because it's like, as a Kragg, I feel that pain. Here we go. Goes for the single jab to try and see if Y's going to bite, but Y wisely not going to.
And with that...
Oh, actually going to get hit by the hide special there. So Zeebee going to be able to make it past the stage here. And now Y going to be on the receiving end of this edge guard. But oh, no!
Zeebee's so smart. Zeebee's so smart.
You have to know where the limits of that blast zone are as Kragg, so you know exactly how long you can wait in order to pull that pillar out, because Y was counting on that to be there, but Zeebee was like, no, this is my pillar, only I get it, you're going to have to go to the blast zone.
I swear to God, Zeebee's brain is an optical illusion, because depending on which side you look at it, it is the smallest or biggest thing possible at all times.
Welcome to the life of a Kragg main.
I guess. Because, I mean, even going back to, harkening back to Genesis.
Yep.
Game 5 versus Cobra, you'd seen Zeebee do the same option. Cobra punished it a couple times, and then pulls the tower away as Cobra's trying to clutch out Game 5, and then SDs for it as well. So, I mean, Zeebee, if there's anybody to use your aggression against you, it is going to be Zeebert Debert.
Yep. But right now, Y just going really aggressive off the stage here. But fortunately for Zeebee, gonna be able to try and make back, but no, Y's offense here
That's
on
pillarless,
the
right?
Yep.
Oh, good back there.
Yep, just barely able to touch the ground there, and you see Y just waiting again, but Zeebee,
lurking, buddy, lurking.
They know the limits of how deep they can go. Oh, this is going to be a full poison stack bubble, but Zeebee's movement in this making it difficult for Y to chase him down.
Well, here's the big thing, right?
Yep.
You're not going to get a full punish like that. Elden Ring. You're not going to get the full punish on a player like Zeebee. What it does, though, is it keeps you in the poison bubble long enough that you can have the chance to make that decision. So we saw it the last game with the 2 stacks. We saw it here with the 4 stacks. You're not going to see some crazy 50-60% combo against these players. But the fact that it gives you that extra second to kind of think about where your opponent's going to be while they're stuck in that helpless state is huge.
Yeah, and that is true. I mean, in a game where at the top level it's moving as fast as it is, those extra seconds can make all the difference. And
no!
Again, just expecting the pillar to be there, but Zeebee does not want to let Y have it.
And that's insane, too, because Zeebee was so low and still made it out of that unscathed.
I mean, they have to be just pixels away from that bottom blast zone limit. There's no way they aren't touching it.
Ooh, tough here.
Yep. Tries to call out the recovery on the platform with the down special, but Y gonna sneak by, get the back air. So still in this game, but unfortunately gonna get thrown up into that up strong, and that is going to be game 2 for Zeebee.
And like, I want to point out a couple things too, because stock 1, Y is running circles around Zeebee, and then Zeebee hits the Elden Ring and goes up a stock.
Yep.
Then in that last game there, I mean, just the classic Nair, was it Nair 1, Nair 2 into the up strong?
Yep.
And listen, man, death taxes and Zeebee, buddy. You got to figure out how to finish this guy off.
Yeah, I mean, just the patience in these tense situations that close to the blast zone to be able to repeatedly find some option out of it. It's been keeping Zeebee alive much longer than they should be. Oh, looking for the pop-up from the rock. And just calls out the recovery with the up strong. Zeebee off to a phenomenal start here. And the rock trap on the pillar. Even when you think you have an opening, Zeebee does not want you to have it.
I thought he was going to just go for the Elden Ring again, but Rube Goldberg eats your heart out on that setup.
I mean, just the ability to keep those kinds of indirect options for your offense is definitely something that's going to make it difficult for Y to be able to counteract in order to try and bring this back. Because, I mean, you're on the Game 3 situation and you're down 2. You have to make something happen here if you want this set to continue any longer.
And just the aggressive answer back every time. Y cannot find this finishing blow.
I mean, 126 already on Tower of Heaven. You're starting to get to those percents where it's going to be a lot more difficult because a lot of moves aren't going to be confirming anymore.
Right. You're looking for something raw at this point.
Yep.
Whether that's like up air 1 into up strong or just get a good fair positioning.
Able to catch Y right as they're air dodging, up tilts and up airs them all the way to the top. Zeebee still sitting comfortably on this 161% first stock that they're still living on. And again, just waiting so long to pull out the pillar, but unfortunately caught at the wrong time with that rock. Y gonna be able to finally take off the first stock? Both of them. Just so much respect for waiting for who's going to break that rock first. And right now, Y just opting to not even go down anymore. I mean, at the start of this set, we saw them going down, being aggressive at that pillar, but it feels like Zeebee's kind of put the fear into them as far as going down there and trying to challenge Zeebee on that pillar.
I mean, you're watching someone in real time learn their lesson, right?
That is a good way of putting it. And right now, it looks like Zeebee's not exactly done trying to teach, because they are looking to close this out and make sure that this is a 3-0. That fair into the bubble is getting close to doing it.
Just delaying the inevitable at this part, it feels like, because as close as these first 2 games have been, Zeebee looks like he's closing the door here.
Yep. But why? Still showing some signs of life, starting to get some good aggression, good angles of offense to be able to try and mix things up, but it's still going to be such a challenge to finish off the stock the way Zeebee's playing right now.
And it just allows Zeebee to play so defensive down there, and he is at home in that blast zone.
There we go. Just going to get the runoff fair. Doesn't want to risk a tech on the side of the stage.
And, yep,
that'll do it. Just
and
getting
Zeebee
down.
popping off a little bit.
Man, everybody just popping off over 3-0s today.
And it's crazy watching that tower